John Krasinski named People's Sexiest Man Alive for 2024. John Krasinski has been named People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive for 2024. The U.S. actor and filmmaker is best known for playing Jim Halpert in the U.S. version of The Office and directed and starred alongside his wife Emily Blunt in the 2018 thriller A Quiet Place and its sequel. The 45-year-old said Blunt, 41, had joked she planned to wallpaper their house with the cover of People magazine. Krasinski told People his immediate reaction was just immediate blackout, actually. Just zero thoughts. Other than maybe I'm being punked. That's not how I wake up, thinking, is this the day that I'll be asked to be sexiest man alive? And yet it was the day you guys did it. You guys have really raised the bar for me. He said his wife was very excited and there was a lot of joy involved when he told the British actress the news. I do think it's going to make me do more household chores, but I'm willing to take the cons with the pros, to be honest with you. I think after the cover comes out she'll be like, all right, that means now you're really going to earn it here at home, Krasinski told the magazine. Krasinski has taken the Sexiest Man Alive mantle from Grey's Anatomy star Patrick Dempsey, who was given the honor in 2023. Krasinski lives in Brooklyn with Blunt, his wife of 14 years, and their daughters Hazel, 10, and Violet, 8. It's that beautiful thing where when you're married to someone, you're constantly learning and changing and evolving. And I'm so lucky to go through all that with her, he said. Mystery of U.S. warship's final resting place solved by accident. An American warship that was sunk by Japanese dive bombers during the Second World War has finally been found, more than 80 years later. The USS Edsall was attacked shortly after Pearl Harbor in 1942 and sank with a huge loss of life. The wreck, discovered by accident at the bottom of the Indian Ocean, is the final resting place of more than 200 servicemen. There were no survivors of the attack, which went on to be used in Japanese propaganda. The 314-foot destroyer was found by the Australian Navy last year, but the development was only announced this week. Captain Joshua Nix and his crew fought valiantly, evading 1,400 shells from Japanese battleships and cruisers before being attacked by 26 carrier dive bombers, taking only one fatal hit, said Caroline Kennedy, the U.S. ambassador to Australia. On the day it was sunk, the USS Edsall was shelled by Japanese warships but managed to evade them using extreme maneuvers and smokescreens, which led one Japanese combatant to describe the Edsall as a dancing mouse. The Australian Navy made the surprise discovery as it was conducting an unrelated and unspecified mission in the area. Its staff used advanced robotic and autonomous systems normally used for hydrographic survey capabilities to locate the USS Edsall on the seabed, Australia's Navy Chief, Vice Admiral Mark Hammond, said. He paid tribute to the U.S. ship, saying it holds a special place in our naval history. The USS Edsall served valiantly during World War II, most notably in the early Pacific campaigns. She operated alongside Australian warships protecting our shores, and played a role in sinking the Japanese submarine I-124 off Darwin. As we reflect on the legacy of the USS Edsall, we honor the sailors who faced tremendous challenges with bravery and determination. Megan Fox announces pregnancy in picture covered in black paint. Megan Fox has revealed she is pregnant as she posted a daring photo of her appearing to be naked and covered in what looked like black paint. Cradling her baby bump, the 38-year-old Hollywood actress and mother of 3 knelt on the floor and stared into the camera, with the caption "Nothing is ever really lost. Welcome back." A second image in the Instagram post showed her hand holding a pregnancy test that read "Yes Plus." Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actress Fox shares 3 children, Noah, Bodhi and Journey, with her ex-husband, actor Brian Austin Green. The pair filed for divorce in 2020, the same year that the U.S. star began her relationship with rapper Machine Gun Kelly, real name Colson Baker. Although she did not specifically reveal the father of her unborn child, Fox tagged 34-year-old Kelly in the post. The caption "Nothing is ever really lost. Welcome back" may be a reference to a previous miscarriage. It remains to be seen whether Fox will publicly discuss the baby's father. On the Call Her Daddy podcast in March this year, host Alex Cooper asked her to address her relationship with Kelly. "I think what I've learned from being in this relationship is that it's not for public consumption," Fox replied. Daniel Khalife entered new phase of spying when he was on exercise in the U.S. Daniel Khalife, the former soldier accused of spying for Iran, entered a new phase of his relationship with his handlers during a series of calls from a base in the U.S., a court has heard. Khalife told his trial his contact with Iranian agents had cooled off after he came up with excuses not to travel to Iran in August 2020. He was deployed to Fort Hood in Texas on February 3, 2021 to take part in Exercise Warfighter. The 23-year-old received a phone call from the Iranians in the last 2 or 3 days of the exercise. After that, he was given a new contact to speak to, and they contacted him on a broadly monthly basis, he told the jury at Woolwich Crown Court. Why did they express greater interest? Prosecutor Mark Haywood KC asked. It seems that they are interested in the United States, Khalife replied. Of course, the great enemy, the prosecutor responded. Khalife insisted he only gave them publicly available information about the exercise that would not be of use to an enemy. The prosecution alleges Khalife stopped giving his handlers fabricated documents and started supplying real information, including a list of Special Forces soldiers. Khalife, from Kingston, southwest London, is accused of spending 2 years passing secrets to the Iranians while serving with the Royal Corps of Signals, but denies the charges, saying he is a patriot and only handed over fabricated documents in an attempt to become a double agent. Mr. Haywood said it was a very, very long conversation that took place on one afternoon, and added, "You were quite prepared for your own purposes to sustain the relationship and to give them enough of what they wanted to keep it going." However, Khalife said, "I think it's interesting when you say for your own purposes, because you don't actually understand or accept what my purpose was. I wanted to pass the relationship on. I didn't want it to go to waste, essentially, in the interest of our national security. I thought it would be of use." It was supposed to expose Iranian officers working in the UK. The court heard that Khalife eventually contacted MI5 twice in November 2021, but he missed their return phone calls and instead was arrested in January 2022. Khalife denies committing an act prejudicial to the safety or interests of the state, eliciting information about members of the armed forces and perpetrating a bomb hoax. Satellite images show toxic smog over Pakistan visible from space. Satellite images show that smog in Pakistan can be seen from space, as the country battles record levels of air pollution. Images from NASA Worldview show the east of the country cloaked in a toxic haze, with smog also reaching into India's northern regions and New Delhi. Lahore, the capital of Pakistan's Punjab region and home to 14 million people, had an air quality index of more than 400 on Tuesday morning, according to IQ Air, which tracks global air quality. Any reading above 300 is considered hazardous. Anything between 0 to 50 is considered good. Earlier in November, parts of Lahore had a reading above 1,900, marking a record high. IQ Air also reported on Tuesday that the concentration of PM2.5 microparticles that enter the bloodstream through the lungs and can cause cancer in Lahore was more than 50 times above recommended guidelines. The city in eastern Pakistan is often ranked as one of the worst places in the world for air pollution. Regional authorities have banned most outdoor activities, ordered shops to close early, and closed schools and public spaces until November 24 in response to the air pollution. Health officials said more than 40,000 people have already been treated for respiratory ailments, while hospitals in the region have reported an unprecedented rise in patients with eye and throat irritation and pink eye disease. It comes as a UN agency warned the health of 11 million children in the Punjab region is at risk if efforts aren't made to tackle the toxic smog. Abdullah Fadil, UNICEF's representative in the country, said in a statement, prior to these record-breaking levels of air pollution, about 12% of deaths in children under 5 in Pakistan were due to air pollution. The impact of this year's extraordinary smog will take time to assess, but we know that doubling and tripling the amount of pollution in the air will have devastating effects, particularly on children and pregnant women. Several South Asian countries are engulfed by smog each winter as cold air traps dust, emissions and smoke from farm fires. Parts of India, Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh were forced to close schools and businesses last November over air pollution. A month later, artificial rain was used in Lahore to tackle hazardous smog for the first time. Criminal group forging Banksy, Andy Warhol and Picasso artworks uncovered by police. A criminal network forging artworks from Banksy, Andy Warhol, and Pablo Picasso has been uncovered by Italian police. Investigators said they had seized more than 2,100 fake pieces of art with a potential market value of about $209 million and discovered 2 forgery workshops in Tuscany, 1 in Venice and 3 elsewhere in Europe. A statement from Italy's paramilitary Carabinieri art squad and the Pisa prosecutor's office added some 38 people across Italy, Spain, France and Belgium have been probed in connection with the forgeries. They are under investigation on suspicion of conspiracy to handle stolen goods, forgery and the illegal sale of artworks. Other pieces, including some by Claude Monet, Vincent van Gogh and Salvador Dali, were also said to be forged and then sold by the group. The probe began last year after seizing some 200 fake pieces, including a copy of a drawing by Italian painter Amedeo Modigliani from a businessman's art collection in Pisa. It led the investigators to forgeries sold by auction houses across Italy, and to connect them to a group known to specialize in fake Banksy and Warhol pieces. It was also alleged the suspects had organized 2 Banksy exhibitions with a published catalog in prestigious locations in Mestre, near Venice, and Cortona in Tuscany to boost their credibility. Teresa Angela Camilio, the chief prosecutor of Pisa, said experts from the Banksy archive who assisted with the investigation considered the operation as the biggest act of protection of Banksy's work. There are a lot of people trying to sell fake Banksys who go to great lengths to make them seem real.